Hello folks, this is Sula speaking. You're listening to another video for Teamfight Tactics. This is more footage taken from the public beta environment, the PBE, early footage of set 11, Inkborn Tales. So this is taken from another double up game with Headwinder. And in this game we're going to be looking at the Heavenly trait, which is going to be the feature of this team composition. Headwinder and I have been doing some games on PBE. I think we've both done some solo games. When we've had time, we tried to queue for double up. Playing double up on PBE is definitely a weird experience, but the two-player mode is just more fun than the single-player mode, so if I have the chance to queue with somebody else, I'm going to take that opportunity over trying to play the game solo. Okay, so we have our initial portal. Headwinder and I have gone to the 3-cost champion portal to see what we get, and we do in fact get the 3-cost champion. So that means that, like in set 10, when this portal was also around, we're all going to get a 3-cost unit to start. I am going to get a Soraka, and this is what kind of keys me into the decision to try and play into a Heavenly team composition. I had actually done a game right before this one without Headwinder by myself, where I played 8 Bruisers, which was actually quite a bit of fun. But when I got to the late game, I'd been beating everybody, but then I couldn't beat this board that was playing heavily into Heavenly. So I was like, I'd really like to get a chance to try out Heavenly trait for myself and just see how it works. And so that was the theme of this particular game. I'm going to try to play some Heavenly units. I'm going to get a Malphite sent to me from Headwinder, and that's going to give me the basis of this. So Heavenly trait as just kind of an overview. This is essentially the guild trait brought back from set 7. Each unit that you play in a Heavenly team composition gives your whole team some kind of stat-wide benefit, and depending on which unit you're playing, you get a different stat benefit. So what I'm trying to do is trying to figure out which units to play here. Obviously, I'm going to slot in Heavenly units, but like what units do I play alongside them? That is what I'm trying to figure out right now. And I've grabbed this Riven for the Altruist trait. So I'll try to talk more about that. I am still very much trying to learn this set. Headwinder and I definitely do not know what we're doing at this point in time. This was the second day of the public beta environment. We are basically just trying to test things out and figure out like what works, what doesn't work. Just try to learn all the units, that kind of thing. Anyway, we also have our first augment here. This is a new one, over encumbered. For the next stage, you only get 3 bench slots. After that, get 3 item components. So that would mean for the rest of stage 2, I would only have 3 bench slots. But I thought that I could probably do that here. Here in the early game, you typically don't want to hold a ton of bench slots anyway. So I am going to go with this, and then I'll get 3 components at the start of stage 3, which feels pretty good for a silver augment, which of course are the weaker ones. Anyway, so now I'm trying to figure out what the heck I do with these items here. Soraka is kind of a support unit. I don't think she's really intended to be a carry unit, but I guess we'll see. And I'm like, I don't know that these items really go together in any great way. I suppose I could try to make like a redemption, but I don't love making that as first item. In particular, I might want to get a tier on like Soraka for spellcasting. I actually decided I'm going to reforge this, and I get a glove, which is kind of not what I was looking for here. I was kind of hoping that maybe I could get something I could pair together with that belt, like maybe an early Sunfire, maybe an early Warmogs, like those would be pretty useful. The glove, I don't know, maybe this could be Hand of Justice, potentially, but I'm not quite sure who I would put that on. Anyway, I don't think my board is anything special. I pretty much got all 1-star units. Soraka's going to take out 1 unit, but looks like I'm going to lose this one. My past self was highlighting the Heavenly trait there. I'm probably going to hover this a fair bit during the game, but I will go ahead and read the description of what this trait does because we're trying to focus on the Heavenly trait. As I said, it's basically the guild trait back again from set 7. All right, Heavenly Champions grants a unique stat bonus to your team, increased by their star level and by each Heavenly unit in play. So each one of these units has a stat bonus associated with them. Right now, I'm playing Kha'Zix, who gives crit chance, Malphite, who gives armor and magic resistance, and Soraka, who gives ability power. So they provide that to the whole team. Now, there's a flat amount that they grant initially, and then you gain scaling increased bonuses to those stats based on 2 things. Number 1, how many units are in, and then also the star levels of the units involved. This is a little bit different from Guild Trait. Guild Trait, you only needed to have 1 unit in to get the benefit. Heavenly, you must have 2 units in to gain the benefit. 1 unit alone doesn't matter. And the star level didn't matter for guild trait. It actually does here for the heavenly trait. So higher star levels of the units means that you will get more benefits. And I'm just barely going to lose my units before Headwinder comes in. But even with his reinforcing, it's not going to be enough to win this. Again, no surprise. Oh, and then I also put Nico on the board as well for 4 heavenly. So first up, the scaling increases based on how many heavenly units you have in. Again, it is a percentage-based bonus. I'm looking at a cheat sheet. I have no idea if these numbers are even still accurate because it's PBE and the numbers get changed around all the time. But the sheet that I have says that 2 heavenly is 100%, 3 heavenly is 115%, 4 heavenly is 140%. By the way, we also get this. We get Udyr for our encounter. This is the set mechanic, is you get these encounters. So we're going to get 4 free rerolls that last until used. Headwinder and I both thought that what we do is we would go to level 5 and then use our free rerolls on level 5 instead of using them here on level 4. So I guess I could technically try to hold them for ages and ages, but it seems more valuable to use them here. Not try to save them until like level 8 or something. That seems a little silly. So yeah, we're going to try to do that. Anyway, it looks like those numbers that I quoted are correct, but if you're looking, they are 100%, 115%, 140%. So the benefits scale up as you get more heavenly units in. So for example, Kha'Zix gives your whole team 10% crit chance. If you have 4 heavenly in, as I do, it doesn't give 10% crit chance. He gives 14% crit chance because, again, it goes up by 140%. So playing vertically into this trait definitely can help your team because the benefits just keep increasing as you play more and more units that have the heavenly trait. The other way that they scale up is the star level of the unit also increases the bonus. Based on what I have here, on the cheat sheet, it says that 2 stars give 50% more bonus and 3 stars give 90% more bonus. So the 3 stars almost double the bonus. 2 stars grant 50% more. So Kha'Zix, 10% crit chance. If he's a 2-starred, that'll go up to 15%, 50% more. And then we also get 140% bonus. So I think that would go to 19% from the 40% bonus plus the 50% bonus for being 2-starred. So we could go from 10% crit chance to 19% crit chance, and that actually feels pretty good overall, having those double bonuses right there. So I actually think Kha'Zix is, even though Kha'Zix does not appear to be a very good unit himself, he's just a 1-cost unit. And here I'm going to use my rerolls, by the way. There's a Soraka. Let's see what else we can get. Anything here? A Mumu? No, that might be interesting, but I'm not playing Warden Frontline at the moment. I'm going to get Ascend here. I'm going to get 2-star Kha'Zix just straight up coming over from Headwinder, so that's nice. Now we'll get that increased benefit. I do hit the 2-star Soraka. That's a pretty big deal. And then I was looking for another unit to put in. I don't want the Teemo. He doesn't match this team composition. I see that there's a Zoe here. What I most need right now is damage. I'm really lacking in damage. So I was like, oh, okay, you know what? I get Arcanist trait on Nico. She's a frontline tank, but she does give the Arcanist trait. I can go ahead and itemize this Zoe, and she can hold items for a future unit that I want to play on this board. Long term, I want to play into some kind of spellcaster, and she should be able to hold those items for a future spellcaster. By the way, hitting 2-star Soraka is pretty nice. Again, Soraka's a 3-cost unit. She's intended to be more of a support unit, and that's why I'm not looking to itemize her. But it is nice to have her 2-starred here. And so now Soraka is giving 15% AP to the whole team. Yeah, and you can see Kha'Zix has gone up to 15%. So I did not manage to get the Zoe onto my board in time. I actually find another Zoe in the store. I'm going to send this Aphelios over to Headwinder. And now I need to get the Zoe on the board. We'll take out that 1-star Kha'Zix that got on there. I will hold on to the Kha'Zix. There's an outside chance I could 3-star the unit. Remember, that would increase the benefit of the unit as well. He's currently giving 15% crit chance times 140%. So, like I said, I think that's 19% or something right around there. But if I could 3-star him, that would go up to 19% and then multiplied by whatever the bonus is. I do wonder if this actually is going to be a reroll trait. I'm not 100% sure because it can make sense to splash some of these units into your comp. Like late game splashing some of these units in makes sense. But like I said, I do wonder if this might be a reroll trait because the benefits go up by so much for 3-starring the units. Like I said, it's basically double the benefit. And there's a lot of very cheap units that are heavenly units in this set. So like the units that make this up are, you have Malphite, who's a 1-cost. You have Kha'Zix, who's a 1-cost. Then you have Qiyana, who I have not seen yet, who is a 2-cost. And Nico, who's also a 2-cost. Then Soraka, a 3-cost. And then finally Wukong, who's a 5-cost. So aside from the Wukong, these are all very inexpensive units, and the benefits, like I said, go up pretty significantly for rerolling them. So I think there's a decent chance that this is actually going to be played as a reroll comp, but it's so early in the set, I don't have a firm sense for that just yet. Yeah, I mean, Kha'Zix, like I said, if you 3-star him, that's 19% crit chance for the whole team, and then, you can, if you get up to like 5 or 6 ranks in Heavenly, then, it like doubles the bonus again. So you can be giving your entire team like, I don't know, 35% crit chance. That seems pretty wild. I actually think some of the other benefits are not as good as Kha'Zix. They've actually nerfed his numbers already from what he was initially. He was initially supposed to give base 15% crit chance. They lowered that down to 10%, but even at the 10%, the numbers scale up pretty well. Anyway, I'm going to get a whole bunch of gloves. I actually get 2 more gloves here, and I already had a glove on my bench because I reforged one of those gloves. So I was like, oh, okay, well, that's a lot of gloves. I definitely need to do something with these. And then I get another big hit here. I actually find a Morgana very early on. By the way, those are the three components that I got for my initial augment that limited my bench sign. And I was like, Morgana has the Sage trait, and Wukong has the Sage trait. Why don't I play into Morgana in this game? She's a 4-cost unit, and seems like a pretty strong unit. So I was like, all right, let's just ditch the Zoe. I can just move over to playing Morgana instead. I think I just dump her on the board for right now. Yeah, there we go. I keep the Zoe, but I'm going to move the items over to Morg. So I was like, all right, what do I want to do with these items? Let's see. I've got so many gloves. I definitely have to do something with the gloves. Okay, so we want the Shojin so that she will cast faster. I'm going to make a Jeweled Gauntlet so her damage can crit. And then I still have a sword and a sword and a cloak left over. I also went ahead and made a Thief's Glove on Soraka because I had so many gloves. I figured that's a good way to kill some of those gloves. This way, Soraka will at least roll something on her Thief's Glove. If you get this many gloves, it's usually a good idea to try and make a Thief's Glove on somebody. All right, so we're going to continue looking to grab more units here. So it's another silver augment. A lot of silver augments so far this game. I don't mind getting them. And I see that there's something new here. Completed items left on your bench for 1 round transform into support items. Fine vintage. Kind of interesting. I was like, I think I might want to just try that out to see what this is like. I'm looking at the other options. By the way, Tiny Titans is here. Tiny Titans is supposed to be disabled for double up mode. I've never seen this in double up mode before. I was thinking of taking this just to see, would it give our team 30 health or would it give each of us 15 health? But instead I was like, no, let's try out this fine vintage. That sounds pretty interesting here. So I'm going to go ahead and try this out. So I'm going to make a completed item. I'm going to make a Bloodthirster. I didn't really have much use for a sword or for a cloak. I mean, the one thing I could have used the sword for is I would not have minded making a Gunblade for Morgana. I actually think that would have been pretty good to get a more Gunblade on her for additional healing. But I wanted to try out this fine vintage. I thought this would be interesting to test out. So we're going to make this Bloodthirster, put it on our bench, and it's going to turn into a support item afterwards, which is kind of interesting. Anyway, Morgana's getting off some decent casts here. She is a little bit random in terms of where she puts that down. So her ability, basically her puddle, her W from standard League of Legends, but it looks like a whole bunch of hexagon tiles here, which is kind of interesting. Visually, it's a bit distinct, but in terms of gameplay, it basically functions the same way. She puts down a pool, units that stand on it take damage. Let me see if there's anything different in terms of what her ability description says. All right. Ability, Tempest Torment. Really her Tormented Soil from League of Legends. Creates a blizzard at the largest clumps of enemies within range, deals magic damage over 3 seconds, and chills them. Reduces their attack speed by a small amount. Okay. So yeah, she puts down, like I said, she puts down her puddle, her Tormented Soil, and units that stand in it take damage. All right, let's see what we got in terms of the support item, though. I get to pull a support item here. And what did I get? Okay, I have choices between a couple different things. Aegis of the Legion seems like the best option. This has kind of been the best support option for a long time. Excuse me, because it grants armor and magic resistance to units on the front line, and then it grants attack speed to units standing behind it. The one big disadvantage is it does force your team to clump up, but my team was hurting on front line anyway. As I said, that was kind of my weakness. I think my damage profile is okay, but my front line's pretty shaky. So definitely taking some kind of a tank support item made sense here. So I effectively turned a Bloodthirster into a Aegis of the Legion, which I do think is better. And then the question is going to be how many item components do I want to turn into support items as opposed to just using them for their normal function. It does mean, though, that if I get an item off like a late game carousel that I don't like or out of a minion round that I don't like, I can turn it into a support item that might be something better. So I have that possibility. Anyway, here you go. Alun adds a completed item to each champion on Carousel. So here's our encounter. We get every one of these has an additional full item on it instead. Now, I was looking here and I was like, I would really like to get that gunblade that the Senna's holding. I think that would be pretty nice because I could just put the gunblade on Morg, but that's not a possibility. Also wouldn't have minded the Warmogs because, as I said, I need more frontline. Don't really see anything else I want so much there. So I just go ahead and I was like, all right, I'll take another Thief's Glove. Maybe this can go on. What do I have? I think I have Syndra on the board. Maybe I could just Thief's Glove the Syndra or something. But watch this. I get an unintended effect. The Thief's Glove pops off, and then it transforms into a support item based on my Fine Vintage Augment. I was like, oh, well, I didn't expect that to happen, but okay. So we'll make the Sunfire Cape with the vest that I have. But yeah, I don't think that that's an intended interaction. They probably are going to need to fix this because you don't normally get full items off carousels, and the net result of that was it just transformed into a support item. Now, the sad thing is I can't even use the support item this round. Right now, we are on one of the 2 gift rounds for double up mode, and unfortunately, these are bugged right now. On PBE, they just don't function at all. I don't get the option to send anything to Headwinder, and I'm actually locked out of the shop. I cannot buy or sell anything. I can move units around, but I can't buy or sell anything. I can't really do anything here. So, yeah, pretty buggy here, and not much I can do. It's only bugged for half of the players. It's actually not bugged for Headwinder. He was able to have a normal shop that round. By the way, we were up against I think a 3-star Yasuo, but we still killed him pretty easily here. Now, can we finish off these remaining units? This looks like a duelist team composition, and the answer is yes. Morgana did 4,800. Soraka did most of the damage that round. Interesting. I guess because she had the blue buff, so she cast a little bit faster. Not too bad. Okay. So now it's going to be another encounter. You can always tell when there's going to be an encounter because it's the little spirally thingy up on the interface at the top of the screen. So we'll have another encounter, and let's see what we get here. I don't know what people are thinking of the encounter so far. What is this one? It's Tom Kench. Stand in puddles to catch fish for Tom Kench. The more fish he catches, the more loot everybody gets. I said to Headwinder while this was going on, I was like, I didn't think TFT was going to turn into Mario Party, but apparently that's just what's happening here. I'm still not quite sure what to make about the encounters. I mean, there's some novelty to them because they're new, but I'm just not sure that this is the right set mechanic. I think this might get old pretty fast. I don't know. I'm not sure what to say, but I'm not sure that this is really doing it for me, and I don't know if this is really going to work out that great. Anyway, so we all just get loot. I think we all got like 20 gold or something, so okay. I guess we just, actually no, it was like, I think it was like 30 gold, so I guess we just accelerated the pace of the game yet again. Oh well, so now it's time to pick another support item. That was the Thief's Glove that I had off the previous carousel that turned into a support item. I'm looking at these. I don't think it's the locket because my positioning would get griefed by that. I already have to stand behind my units by virtue of having the Aegis of the Legion, so I can't really use the locket. I can't really do that in terms of positioning. And Virtue of the Martyr, I don't think would be that good here. That's kind of a bit more of an early game item. The healing is not really that significant as the game goes on. But as we're moving into stage 4, something that is going to be significant is getting a Shroud of Stillness. Now, you guys know I love Shroud of Stillness, at least if you've been watching the channel for a long time. And by the way, that's the gift round from Headwinder. Headwinder's locked out of the store this round, so I just get the default gift round, which I think is 2 3-cost champions. So, yeah, the gift round's just not working at all in Double Up right now. But anyway, I now have a Shroud of Stillness, and so I'm just going to shove this on Malphite, who's just in there as a trait bot right now. And so I can move Malphite wherever I want. Because support items have largely been taken out of the game, except for getting things like this, most people do not try to position around Shrouds and Zephyrs anymore, so because people just aren't even looking for that. I mean, like, why would you be looking for a Shroud of Stillness? Because it's so hard for them to show up now. So this is going to give me the opportunity to play Shrouds and hopefully Shroud a significant portion of enemy teams. So that's going to be really nice. All right, so what do I have? I went ahead and leveled to 8 using that bonus gold. I put the Kiana on the board. That gives me another rank of Heavenly. Kiana's Heavenly bonus is she gives attack speed to the team. Yeah, it's, again, Kha'Zix's crit chance, Malphite's armor and magic resistance, Nico is health, Kiana is attack damage, not attack speed. She's attack damage, Soraka's AP, and then Wukong is attack speed. If you can get an emblem for Heavenly, it gives Omnivamp, so the whole team has healing. By the way, that is the same as guild trait from set 7. The emblem gave Omnimamp in set 7 as well. So again, now that I have 5 of these in play, I get 165 of the base benefits. So again, Kha'Zix is giving my whole team something like 22% crit chance, something like that. Anyway, now we're going to level to level 8. There are 2 more Kianas in the store, so I can look to go ahead and grab that. I'll put this whatchamacallit, a rod on Morgana. Yes, I will finally pick these up. And now I'm trying to figure out what else I'm going to play on my board. So I've slotted in Ornn as another behemoth, just as a frontline tank. I need somebody to hold my tank items. Neeko really is still a 1-star unit. And even though Neeko, I was able to get a Warmogs on her, she is ultimately a 2-cost unit, so she's a decent tank for the early game, but she does fall off. She also does not have any tank traits. So her traits are Heavenly and Arcanist. So like I said, I think that she's probably going to be a frontliner for an Arcanist team comp, but she doesn't have any of the game's 3 tank traits in this set. There's 3 main tank traits in set 11. You have Behemoth, which gives armor and magic resistance to Behemoth units. You have Warden, which is damage reduction, and then you have Bruiser, which is health, and those are the 3 main ones. Okay, last augment turns out to be prismatic here, which I knew it was kind of be. When you have silver, the last one's normally prismatic, although it can also be gold. So I'm looking at the options here. The golden egg is also a possibility. We do have 90 health, so I could probably hatch that, but I decided I was going to go for the the prismatic ticket, because I thought the odds were pretty good that I would be able to, I really have a whole bunch of 1-stars. I want to try to 2-star a lot on my board, so I thought this would be a little bit better here. By the way, I stopped picking up Kha'Zix because I was like, well, there's no way I'm going to 3-star this, and then suddenly I start picking them up, so yeah. All right, now I do actually manage to find a Wukong, so I 100% want to play that, so that's going to get me up to 6 Heavenly, and Wukong's a 5-cost unit, so now I can definitely start itemizing him. He also puts the Sage trait in play, which is going to be really nice. And now I'm just, again, trying to figure out what else I want to play here. So again, I'm heavy on Sage, heavy on Heavenly, excuse me. The units that I'm playing that are not Heavenly units are, I have Morgana, who has Sage plus Ghostly traits not in play. And then I also have Syndra on my board for Arcanist traits. She is Arcanist plus Fated. Headwinder is actually playing a Fated team composition right now, so there is some possibility that if I can find another Arcanist, I might be able to take out the Syndra and send it over to him later on down the road. But what I really need is I probably need to improve my front line right now. It's just, Neeko 1-star Neeko is not really getting it done at the moment. I will pick up the extra Soraka, so because I have Prismatic Ticket, I have pretty good odds to hit some of these, to hit some 3-stars. And now that's a huge store. I hit 2-star Syndra. She's not itemized, but she is still a 4-cost unit. And I finally hit the 2-star Neeko. So I'm going to stop there and hold off on rolling any further. So yeah, now that we have 6 Heavenly and we are getting a lot of stats, so what is it? I said 6 Heavenly is currently 190% bonus. So it's basically doubles the benefit of what you have. So like I said, Kha'Zix giving me, what? He's giving me 15% crit chance times 190%. So yeah, I mean, that's like almost 30% crit chance for the whole team. Neeko base gives me 90 health because she's 2-starred, so double that. That's like 180 health for the whole team. Soraka is giving the whole team 15 AP doubles, so that's like 30 AP for the whole team. Like all these bonuses are kind of small individually, but like when you start stacking them up, they really do add up over time. The other interesting thing about a Heavenly team composition is most of the units that are Heavenly units are not actually carry units themselves. They're mostly support units. So this is kind of a tricky team composition to play because you largely want to play the Heavenly units as support units, and then you pick other units that are not Heavenly units and use them as your main carries. So it's kind of weird in that respect, and I think it's maybe not the easiest team composition to pilot. But if you can actually pull that off, it should be pretty strong, and that's what I was trying to do here. I was hoping that Wukong would be available on that carousel. Wukong was not available. I would really like to get the Wukong. Remember, I have a champion duplicator, so if I'd grabbed the Wukong there, I would have just duplicated it, and I would have had Wukong 2-star, which is, again, it's a 5-cost. He is a very strong unit. The 5-cost units have been a little overtuned thus far. They've been eating some nerfs on PBE, but they have been very strong. So like I was able to find a set who is a 5-cost Fated unit, so I sent that over to Headwinder, and that's going to help his board. He's already level 9. I mean, I probably could have been as well, but I was trying to stop here and reroll a bit. because I have this prismatic ticket, it makes more sense to stay here at level 8 and reroll a little bit. So yeah, I'm going to continue looking for more units here. I'm looking at the teams I can potentially be up against. Want to get good value from this Shroud, so let's go ahead and put Malphite here. I still have only found one Malphite the whole game, which is a little disappointing because I'm not getting full benefit from his heavenly stuff. Oh, and by the way, that Malphite was sent by Headwinder, so I actually have not seen a single Malphite the entire game. Good news is Morgana is kind of destroying the back line. She got off a fantastic cast in that fight, just absolutely murdered the entire back line right there. And she's only a 1-star unit herself, but she is getting all those stat benefits. Yeah, you see all the benefits. Those are the flat amounts, like Kha'Zix's 15%. That then gets multiplied by the 190%. So, as I said, it's what you're seeing there times 1.9 is the actual benefit to all of these. So, yeah, it's a lot of stats. I think that they are going to need to tone down these stats because they're just set a little bit too high right now. It just feels like going vertical heavenly is very strong at the moment. Like I said, I could not beat that board when I was playing 8 bruisers earlier. So yeah, we feel like we're just kind of cruising here. So like I said, now I'm just going to try to stay over 50 gold, use my free prismatic rerolls. There's a Malphite finally. I definitely want to try to 2-star this. So again, I would like to continue trying to look for more of these units, and I still do need to try to improve my frontline situation here. I'm looking, I was like, all right, maybe if I can get an Udyr, I can maybe shift some of my tank units over to that, because I am playing that unit. And then, by the way, I have not been seeing Morganas after the initial one. I just straight up get a 2-star Morgana from Headwinder, so that was pretty nice. So I was like, okay, I will sell the Morgana I have and transfer items. That pops the rod off, but that's not even bad because I might not want to put, I might not be able to make an item out of that rod. So I'll just hold this on the bench right now and see what I can do. I would really like to make Gunblade for Morgana's 3rd item. That would allow the damage she do to heal the front line. She's doing a tremendous amount of damage in these fights. By the way, here's where Morg is weak because like right now, she sometimes will like put her puddle down and only hits one enemy. So as I said, she's very good at hitting a group, but if units are spread out, she's a lot less effective. So positioning against Morgana, try to spread out your units. Don't have them all clumped like that. Sadly, I do lose the round right before a minion round. Again, my biggest weakness is my front line is still pretty shaky right now. I have a 1-star Wukong. That'll be decent if I can 2-star him. I still have a 1-star Malphite, and then I have a 2-star Nico who does not have any tank traits. So yeah, not amazing. Definitely would make more sense to try to get another tank. So I think at this point in time, I was like, you know what? I'm going to go to level 9. It's not that expensive to do so. They did make going to level 9 and level 10 cheaper. And I was like, I'll just stay at level 9 and then slow roll on level 9. I need to get another frontline tank on my board. What I have right now is not strong enough yet. I did get a Soraka out of that round, so I'm starting to get some more of these units, right? I'm on 5 Sorakas, 5 Nikos. If I could hit 3-star Nico, that would help solve my frontline issues by a pretty good amount. So anyway, I'll go to level 9, and then I'll try to do my rerolls here on level 9. Sadly, I didn't quite get what I was looking for. As I said, I wanted the sword to make Gunblade on Morg, but I wasn't quite able to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and make Hand of Justice for Wukong. I'm trying to itemize him. I was still hoping that maybe I could get something else and put on a frontliner, hoping I can get like a better item for Morg, maybe off one of the upcoming carousels. So I still have this rod just like floating around in Nowheresville, but maybe I'll be able to find a unit to put that on. As I said, I was hoping to make Gunblade on Morg, but that was not an option just yet. All right, I am up against a duelist team composition, and this Trist is actually shredding me pretty good. I believe Trist is only a 2-cost unit, but sure beating me in this fight. Yeah, unfortunately not enough to take out that team. As I said, the fact that Trist kind of jumps around means that it's hard for Morgana's puddle to do that much to her. I want to be clear again, I'm playing through Morgana. Morgana is not a heavenly unit. She's just being played because she gives me the Sage trait and she slots in with the rest of this team composition pretty well. Again, this is the bugged gift round for double up. But I do think that this is what you want to do when you're playing a heavenly team composition is you're trying to play around the non-heavenly units on your board. By the way, there is the Fated team that Headwinder is running. He is also kind of in a bit of a power trough right now as he's trying to figure out how he's going to put this team together. He did just hit 2-star Kayn, so he's going to switch his Fated emblem over to the Kayn. He managed to get a Fated emblem out of his final augment. Sadly, though, I really can't do anything this round, and that's bad because I was actually planning on rolling quite a bit on this round. I actually was going to roll, I think, down to like 20-ish gold, but I actually can't because this is the buggy round, and I have this 1-star Morgana on my board that's basically useless, but I can't access the shop, so I can't do anything to put a more viable unit in there. At least I can pick up another Morgana here. I might as well, right? I already have 4. This gives me 5. And I do have a decent chance to hit a 3-star Morg because I've got Prismatic Ticket, which gives me all the extra rerolls. So that's the hope anyway, that we can at least try to play in that direction. By the way, look at Morg's damage when she actually hits a good clump of units. She just like took out that entire group of units. And oh, can I win this? Ah, jeez. That was really close. Morg almost won that. I think we would have knocked that player out of the lobby if we'd won that round. So just a little bit short. And oh, what's this? That's 6 Morganas. Okay, now I'm legit getting close to the 3-star mark. Now we really have to look. And remember, I do have a champion duplicator sitting on my bench. So I will definitely keep an eye out for that. So, all right, there's another Soraka. So 6 Sorakas now. Is it 6 Sorakas, 6 Nikos, 6 Morganas? I still need to get some other kind of frontline tank. There's another Nico. That's 7 Nikos. So I was like, I'm looking for like a 5 cost here that I can put in. Well, that's 7 Sorakas. I'm still rolling, still using my free rerolls here. I was like, can I find something to slot in here? There's another Morg. I'm 1 off of the Morg 3-star here with the champion duplicator. All right, at least I did finally hit 2-star Malphite, but I'm still not sure what to put in. And then finally I find Udyr, and I was like, okay, whew, I'll definitely take the Udyr. Now, this is not quite as useful as you might think. The Udyr is going to give, and by the way, there's the gift round coming over from Headwinder. I got an item remover. Whoop-de-doo. What a great gift. Anyway, so Udyr, the thing about this though is the behemoth units get armor and magic resistance, but only for themselves. So this is not going to be super significant, but it's still just better to have Udyr on the board anyway. I'd love to get some items for him. Maybe if I could get like a Thief's Glove or something, that would be pretty nice, but I just need more frontline pretty badly. At least I'm also getting close to the Nico 3-star. Nico 3-star would really, really help out a lot here. All right, so it's time for a carousel. I will be second pick. There is a Morgana on this carousel, so I could take that and duplicate it for the Morgana 3-star. That would be pretty nice, but I was sitting here thinking, and I was like, you know, I could take the Morgana, but I think I can find one more Morg. What I really want is I want a final item to put on Morgana, and I'm going to take this Hand of Justice. I really wanted a healing item on Morgana. Like I said, Gunblade would be best because then she would heal herself and also heal the front line when she casts her ability. But Hand of Justice is not terrible either. And the logic behind that, by the way, I'm going to replace the Syndra with Lysandra, and now I can send the Syndra over to Headwinder's board when we have this send back. Anyway, the logic for that was I want her to have healing because in a lot of these fights, she gets low. And by the way, we're just going to straight up hit it anyway. Nice. Very nice. I did not have to burn my champion duplicator, so I still have that available. But like in a lot of these fights, she's taking damage, and she can actually tank damage and like survive and keep casting if she has the Hand of Justice. The other thing is it does have crit chance on it. Remember, it builds out of a tear and a glove, so it does have crit chance on it. So that means it's going to synergize with her Jeweled Gauntlet as well. And of course, now she's 3-starred, so yeah, now she's just going to absolutely rip through backline units. Like absolutely just tear through people. Wherever she puts her puddle down, the units that are standing on her are just going to die. You can even see the little crit effect when she puts things down. And then what's this? Oh my god, that's a 3-star Annie. Annie is also a 4-cost unit, by the way. She summons Tibbers in this set. So we've got 3-star Morg and 3-star Annie going at it. And oh, that's why I wanted the Hand of Justice. Because Morg would have died in that fight, but she was able to heal through the damage because I had that Hodge on her. So itemization for the win. There was a reason why I wanted that. All right, anyway, so Syndra goes over to Headwinder. He is now on 8 Syndras, so he's very close on that, on his faded board. I still have the champion duplicator, so I'm looking for what I could potentially look to put on this board. So like I could potentially play Aurelia. She does have one of these traits that's shared with them there, but I ultimately decide, you know what, I'll stick with the Lysandra. I think that's pretty good. And I have the ability to make a crown guard from these leftover items. So I was like, okay, I'll go ahead and do that. Maybe if I could hit 2-star Udyr, I could item remover the items off of the Nico and move them over to the Udyr. But as long as I just have 1-star Udyr, they're definitely better on Nico. Plus, I am on 7 Nico, so I'm one away with the champion duplicator from hitting Nico 3-star. I could have Soraka 3-star right now, but I'm going to continue holding my duplicator to see. I want to hit Nico and Soraka 3-star, and I just want to see which one of those units I hit. And then I'll probably duplicate the other one. That's the logic. By the way, there is that 3-star Annie just wrecking havoc over there on the other boards. So I think that my board is just about finished right now. Yeah, more Kazakhs. I wonder if I could have hit 3-star Kazakhs if I had just kept picking up Kazakhs the whole game. The extra crit chance certainly would have been nice. Anyway, the other trait I did want to mention that I haven't talked about, now that we have a ghost down here, is the Sage trait. So I'm getting this from Morgana, and I'm also getting this from Wukong. This is another team-wide benefit. It's reminiscent of the Strategist trait from set 9. Sage's allies in the front 2 rows gain Omnivamp. Allies in the back 2 rows gain ability power. So right now the units who are up in the front get the Omnivamp, and Morgana gets a little bit of extra ability power. So front 2 rows, back 2 rows is how it works. All right, let's see what we can hit on our rolls here. Want to get those free rerolls from Prismatic Ticket. So getting a number of them here. No, I don't. I'm not going to hit Kiana 3-star. I don't have bench space for that. All right, there's Nico. So we're 1 off Nico, 1 off the Soraka. I'm like, come on. Can I find one of these? No. No. Malphite. No. There we go. All right, I hit the Soraka. So with that in mind, we'll duplicate the Nico, and boom. Soraka 3-star, Nico 3-star, Morgana 3-star. That should be pretty good. Now, again, that does increase the heavenly benefits from those units, from them being 3-starred as well. Again, the Nico was health, so we get additional health, and the Soraka is AP. So Soraka now provides 19% base AP, and then it's basically doubled. It's a little less than that, so that's like 37 AP. By the way, once again, Morgana gets super low, but Hand of Justice kicks in, and she is going to heal through the damage, and once again manages to kill the whole enemy board. 18,000 damage on the Morgana there. Jesus, Morgana. Slow down there. Anyway, so I had an item on my bench there, so it turns into a support item. I don't know if I intended to do that. I think that was actually a mistake. I think I intended to put that item on the Lysandra, but then I forgot about that, and then it turned into a support item. I'm like, you know what's good for the late game? I've heard that Zephyrs are good for the late game. There we go. Now we're going to hit 2-star Lysandra as well, so now I can look to just try to econ to level 10 and play another legendary unit. But I now have a Shroud and I have a Zephyr, so it's like being back in set 6 all over again. Hey, over there, I see you got a 3-star Bard in the corner. You know what would be nice? How about we take that Bard and we put him up in the air for the first 6 seconds of the fight? Plus, I managed to Shroud your whole team. So yeah, and oh my god, this Morgana ult is doing so much damage. Unfortunately, she recast and did not put it on top of Bard, but can she get off one more cast on the Bard? Again, when it's down to just like 1 unit remaining, she's not as accurate. But yeah, another 25,000 damage from Morg, and it looks like one of the 2 remaining teams just got knocked out. So now it is down to just us and one other team on 1 health, so we only need to win 1 more round in order to win this. And by the way, I should not be rolling here. I should just be going to level 10. There's I know what I was rolling for. I was rolling for Wukong, because I still only have the 1 Wukong. It would be really nice to have another Wukong. I started itemizing Wukong under the belief that I'd be able to 2-star him, but no, never have seen another Wukong the whole game. All right, I am slated to be up against the person who's playing 3-star Annie, so I was like, all right, this is going to be a reflexes test for you. You have your Annie right in the front row, your 3-star Annie. Are you going to swap your unit out of the way? Or are you going to let your unit get Zephyred? Well, as it turns out, they did not succeed on the reflexes test, because they are going to get Shrouded and Zephyred on their Annie, their 3-star 4-cost unit. So that's going to delay the time it takes for Tibbers to get on the board. Morg is actually going to kill pretty much the entire enemy board other than Annie. So very rapidly, that's going to be the only unit left alive. Unfortunately, though, Headwinder was not able to win his round. So I'm going to get jumped on by the other board. And oh, Annie's down. This is very close. Can we kill the Bard? Bard is standing not on Morgana's puddle. So, unfortunately, not able to win that round, but of course I would have won if it hadn't been for the reinforcing player coming in. All right, there's a Wukong here, so maybe I can get the Wukong with the Warmogs and finally get 2 out of 3 Wukongs. That would be really nice, but no. Okay, well, yeah, they're going to snap that up. So, okay, I guess I'm just never going to get another Wukong in this game. I will go ahead and take this emblem. This is the Behemoth emblem. I can turn another unit into Behemoth. So I was like, all right, I'll just put this on Wukong. So he'll get extra health, and then he'll also get the Behemoth armor and MR, which should be pretty decent. By the way, I still have not seen anything beyond that 1 Udyr, so maybe Udyr was not the right unit to play here. I was just looking for more frontline tank stats, and he does provide that, but I've never hit another one. Like I could have also played Aurelia in here. She shares a trait with one of these units. I could have played I think I could have played Rakan, also shares a trait. By the way, once again, we're going to do a reflexes test. Did you manage to Did you manage to dodge the Zephyr? This person did not. They actually sold their whole board. I think they were looking for Wukong 3-star. I believe they were on 8 of them. But the problem is they could not hit Wukong 3-star because I had a Wukong. So that was not a wise decision there. Yeah, they were going for Wukong 3-star, but they couldn't hit it because there's only 9 of the units in the pool, and I had the other one. So that does explain why I wasn't able to find Wukong, because they had 8 Wukongs over there. But they never should have sold their whole board. It was impossible for them to find. There's only 9 Wukongs in the pool, and I already had one. So that was not a wise decision on their part. And, they actually did win the previous round, so we thought it was a little weird they decided to sell everything the last round, because, they did win the previous round against us. But in any case, they just kind of made a very silly move there, and that ended up winning the lobby for us. So yeah, it was definitely a fun game. I made 3-star Morgana, 3-star Soraka, 3-star Nico. Over on Headwinder's board, he was able to make 3-star Syndra and 3-star Kindred. So definitely, we each had a 4-star, a 3-star 4-cost. So yeah, we made some pretty good boards, and this one was just a lot of fun to play. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed this early look at the PBE. Until next time, have a great week, folks. Take care, and I'll see you again soon.